Now, from Wall Street to State Street, the final word on today's numbers and all the day's business news. This is New England Business Day on NECN.
This week's Bio International Convention in Boston has attracted dozens of countries from all over the world, countries that want their companies to do business here in New England, but also want to attract biotechs to their home. One of those places is Australia. Mont Fennell caught up with the head of Invest Australia, Barry Jones, who is in charge of promoting his country's biotech industry.
Australia is in fact one of the largest countries here. I think we've got the fourth largest delegation. Over 400 Australians are here and 57 Australian companies are exhibiting here to show the American pharmaceutical industry and biotechnology industry what we've got to offer.
Is there a particular strength?
We've got a number of strengths. We're very good at clinical trials, we're good at immunology, we're good at oncology, we're good at some of those therapeutic medical areas that are applicable to all advanced economies.
And who are you competing with? Who else is strong there?
I guess it's the other advanced economies. So Europe and North America are also good in those areas. So from an Australian point of view, being a very small country, we want to make sure we're not ignored.
And that's why you're here.
That's exactly right. We've only got 20 million people, but we do 3% of the world's health research and development. We want to make sure that American companies know that and can tap into that very rich vein of medical research that we've got going.
Now you've got some incentives here. You just announced yesterday here at the convention an extension of tax breaks. Tell us what those are.
That's right. Australia does give tax incentives to companies undertaking research and development in Australia. But the problem has been that it's been confined to companies holding their intellectual property in Australia. What the government announced yesterday was that it's now extended that tax break to companies holding their IP outside of Australia as well, under some circumstances.
So what kind of break can you get?
You get 175% tax concession. So it's essentially, when you work it out with our tax rates, 22.5 cents in every dollar you spend is given to you by the government for conducting R&D in Australia.
Do you have a goal for what this might bring to you?
We hope that it's going to lead to an extra $1 billion worth of R&D over the next couple of years.
Out of how much?
Out of a substantial sum.
I mean, currently, what are you doing?
Good question.
Okay, well, you don't have to know everything.
Yeah.
That's okay. What's the importance of partnering with companies here in the U.S.?
A couple of things. Obviously, the US is a global centre for biotech and pharma, and Boston in particular is a global centre. So we need to get Australian companies in front of companies operating over here. We need to make sure, as I said, that companies in the US understand what Australia's got to offer, because that can provide a pathway to commercialisation of Australian discoveries.
What do you think about Massachusetts companies versus, say, others in California, North Carolina, some of the other hotbeds?
Well, clearly Massachusetts is, as I said, a global centre. A lot of the big guys are here, are headquartered here and do a lot of their R&D here. So from our point of view, we cannot ignore Massachusetts. We've got to be here.
And finally, what do you think of this whole convention?
It's great. Obviously a very big convention, over 20,000 delegates. But it's the place to be. It's the place to be if you want to partner with companies, meet companies and do the deals that are vital to this industry.
Hope you get a few.
Thank you very much.